I was muted, so we'll try that again. Hi everyone, we're back. uh, we are here ready for draft hype. This game is going to be a pretty standard bingo game with the exception that all of the games that are on the board are drafted by our players here. We'll basically take turns in a snake order, going through 10 games. I'll fill out the games that are actually being picked here, but you can kind of see what it'll look like once it's done. Then we'll make a board out of only games from there, and it'll be fun. And both players are actually going to be trying a brand new spread of goals tonight to hopefully make the game last like slightly longer and not have like bingo lines with multiple easies in a row. But I guess we are probably good to get started if y'all are ready.
Sounds good to me.
Are we doing one protect one ban or two and two?
I think standard's been 2 and 2, but whatever y'all want to do, honestly.
I'm good with standard.
Okay. And then just for ease of being on left and right, Dom will have you be player 1 for this, and then WinnerBit will be player 2.
Okay.
Say
Hi.
hi. So I guess we are good. Dom, if you want to go ahead and draft your first game, we'll go ahead and get started.
Up tank.
Unsurprising. Okay. Alright. WinnerBit, what is your first game?
Gonna make my first game. Let's see. Let's do pen golf. You know me.
Alright. And WinnerBit, what is your second game?
Martin.
Okie dokie.
I really want to just start calling it Magic Garden again. Like, Martin is a very, very bad portmanteau.
Yeah.
And I hate that I keep using
Nobody's
it.
making you say it.
No, that's the main problem, honestly.
I think Bunter
No
works
one's
better
making
than
me
Martin
stop either.
personally, but
Okay, Martin is a little scuffed, but Bunter is.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's like it works for Bunter. It doesn't work for Martin. Alright, go ahead.
You know, I gotta go with the classic Mortal 1, Mortal 2.
Huge.
alright, WinnerBit, what is game number 3 for you?
Waller's Journey.
Yeah.
This is cool to see.
And then let's go with tactics after that. I don't want to waste my efforts.
Reasonable. Alright, Dom, game number 4.
Give me. Demolition and Minion Max.
Alrighty. Alright, WinnerBit, games 5 and 6.
Let's do Cyber Owls. And let's say Campanella.
Alright, Dom, game number 6.
I would do Kit Club.
And 7.
Rail Heist.
Alright, 7 and 8 for winner.
Let's do Pilot Quest. And Lord to Visconia.
Alrighty. 8 and 9 for Dom.
Give me Bunter and Hyper Contender.
All right, and your final 2 draft picks, WinnerBit.
I'll do Overbold. And let's see. Stupid Sheet of Ball.
Okay.
All right. Dom, your final game, and then 1 protect.
You know, we gotta go with Barbuda. And protect. Protect Mortal 2.
Okay.
Alright.
And a protect for you, Winner, and then a ban of one of Dom's games.
And to protect Waldorf. And I will ban Devolition.
Okay.
Sorry, that looks weird. Let's do it this way. Okay. Dom, same for you. Another protect and then a ban of winners.
I'll protect Mini and Max, and I'll ban Pingolf.
Okay. Pin golf is banned. And then finally, Winner, ban anything that is not Mortal 2 or Mini and Max.
Hang on a second. Is this right? Because I'd be banning 2, and Dom has only banned 1.
Dom will end with banning the final one.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so you
I get
ban 1
another
protect,
and then I ban 1 more.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I'll protect the tactics.
Okay. And then...
And I will ban Bug Hunter. That's right, I used its full legal name.
Alrighty, Dom, and you can ban anything other than Waldorf, Tactics, or Pen Golf because you already banned it.
I will ban the Cybernetic Owls. Before we get going, I have to take a quick bathroom break.
That's fine. It's going to take a couple minutes for me to get these screenshots and stuff and get the board set up. So,
Okay, cool.
I'll link the board once we're ready, but feel free to take a break, get water and stuff. Alright, cool.
Okay, 1 sec.
Alright. So this will be... P1 picks. Yep. This will be... P2 picks. That should update it there. Cool. Okay. So now that that's live, we can go ahead and reveal these. I might make these outlines a little thicker now. Also, hi chat, how's it going? Welcome in. Sorry to rush. But we are getting set up with the actual draft board now. We have Domme is player 1, so it's going to be Warp Tank, Mortal 2, Devolution is banned, Minion Max, Kick Club, Rail Heist, Bug Hunter's banned, Hyper Contender, Barbuda, Winner, Pingolf's banned, Magic Garden, Waldorf,
Alright, I'm back. Are we doing deafening?
Tactics.
Back. I'd probably go for deafening if you're up for it.
Okay.
Cyberell's banned.
But do you want to do
Banned
tiebreak or not?
What is that like? If game goes to time, somebody has to click a square before it
Right.
actually ends. Yeah, we can do that.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm down for that too. That's fine.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so we're almost ready with the board. Just doing one last check to make sure everything's right. Pingolf and Cyber Owls were banned, and Devolution and Bug Hunter were banned. Okay. Try the new spread. Create board. Casting. Okay. Oh, that both of you are live already, thank you. That is helpful to capture.
Playing. There we go.
Hello, but I have to lurk and feed Bread's dogs. If I'm not back, I became the dinner.
Well, that's adorable reason to be.
That was precious. Good luck not becoming the dinner.
If I remember right, you banned Bug Hunter and Devolution.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
No grid-based puzzles for you.
The only grid-based
That
puzzle
brain's
here
not
is
even working right now anyways.
Honestly, I'm right there with you right now. I'm still like recovering mentally from the whole ear thing.
Yeah, you're alright.
The ear thing?
Yeah, I'm okay. Last couple days I've had like I'm good today, more or less, but for the last couple days my left ear's just been having a really hard time with like hearing pitches accurately. And then if anything like 800 hertz and below, there's just a steep drop off in both audibility and pitch. It's just really super weird. It made everything sound discordant.
Oh, that's bizarre.
Yeah. Ooh, I should probably refill my water.
Go ahead and do that.
Do I have about a minute?
Yeah, we're almost good to go live, but you got a sec.
Right. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, and it looks like the board is there. Alright. So, whenever Winner's back, we are good to go. Elfie pointing out that that sounds like an ear infection. Yes, it does. Also, hi
I
everyone.
was like half deaf in my ear for like a couple weeks, and then I found out that it was actually COVID.
Yeah, that also isn't super surprising. I only had it once, like, right at the very start of it, but it definitely shows up in really weird ways. Okay, let me make sure both players have no stream audio. Okay. Alright, well, while Winner is getting ready, I'll go ahead and do the pre-match stuff. So this is going to be a pretty standard match of bingo. It'll go until an hour 45, or players get majority, or someone gets a bingo. We are playing this match with the new balancing stuff that we were talking about earlier. So there shouldn't be more than one easy or very hard and a bingo line. But it should theoretically make the draft game at least a little bit faster than, or a little bit slower than before, with it at least most of the time being a little bit harder to get a bingo now.
Oh my gosh, okay, I'm here.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Gotta run up 2 flights of stairs and back to refill my water. Got the blood pumping, I'm all set to go.
I like your spelling of drift, by the way, that made me laugh.
Thank you.
Alright, yeah. I think we are good to go. Dom, if you're good to go, feel free to mute and deafen, and good luck.
Okay.
Alright, best of luck, Dom.
Alright, good luck.
Okay. Let me unhide the board and then ask the players if they're ready. Oops. Unhide the board cover, not the board. And then Domme is going to be red. Okay. Oh, the timer's going to be off by 5 seconds, but that's fine. Alright, hi everyone. Welcome to Draft Bingo. So we have 5 very hards, the Mortal Very Hard, which I'm sure Dom is stoked to see. Lords of Disconia, Kit Club, Warp Tank, and Waldorf's Journey. We also have the 5 Easies, which, let me see if I can recognize them based off of this. It is that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. But yeah, this is slightly rebalanced Draft Bingo. We had a discussion earlier today about re-weighing some of the goal distribution, because it turns out that a standard draft board game currently has like 7 easies, and that's maybe a little intense. So we're going to be off by 5 seconds on the timer that's on stream, but it's really fun. Players are off and good to go. Alright, 2 early double synergies here. Bushido Ball first round as every character is a little bit longer, so this is likely just 2 rounds of Yamada with Lazon. Meanwhile, Hyper Contender Pastoral Draft is one of the fastest goals in Bingo. The new goal text is a bit harder to parse as a viewer. I can change it back to the original one if you want. Let me do that real quick. There we go. Oh, thank you, Matt, for the gift. I just got an alert for that in the middle of stream. So it does actually look like we're starting to bank some progress for the Bushido Ball center square here, because we're actually not playing as Yamada right now. We're playing as blasting through all of the characters. Yeah, I didn't realize the getting a gift in Steam alert is the same as getting an achievement in Steam. But thank you. Alright, and that is 1 round of Hyper Contender Draft done already. That's the main reason why you have to do it twice, because doing 1 round of draft is very, very fast. And thankfully for Dom, she was able to start with Braz on both. And Braz is very, very powerful in Pastoral with how much range he actually has here. The Braz versus Braz mirror match in Pastoral is pretty terrifying in my opinion, because the AI has just as much range with Braz as you do. But Dom doing a good job of playing this well here. And I think Winner is already through 2 characters in Bushido Ball. And that made number 3, I think. Or maybe we're just going in order, and Tomoe is going to be number 3. That would make more sense. Alright, and unfortunately, AI Braz kind of took over there. Personally, this would be my ideal draft layout of a double Sephi into Elka. Yeah, actually getting Sephi Elka is pretty ridiculous. Speaking of Hyper Contender, I finally got around to trying the Hyper Contender, like, hyper difficulty goal yesterday, because I realized I hadn't actually done it before. And thankfully was able to get a PB up to round 6 in hyper difficulty. But turns out that shit's hard. It definitely looks a lot easier as a viewer to just manipulate the AI to kill themselves over and over again. But the AI last night was not that kind about it. Alright, and in addition to beat all World 3 and World 4 levels, we're going to see this very quick goal done about as quickly as possible. Dom definitely the best player in the league, I would say, at Mortal 1. And this goal is incredibly fast, even if you're not super comfortable in Mortal 1. And seeing here the power of just being able to parachute jump whenever, the power of being able to efficiently chain stuff. I think we already only have 2 more things that need to be grabbed. This Crash Bandicoot cover of Master of Puppets is really funny, by the way. Yep, there's number 6. I always miscount that goal, apparently, because I have to drain the water first. Also, y'all, let me tell you, I was looking for these albums, the sound font covers or whatever, because they're honestly pretty good to have on as the background of underground matches, in my opinion. And for some reason, everyone loves the Super Mario 64 sound font, and it's not my favorite. Jedi with a raid, hi. Welcome in, everyone. Hi, Mare.
Hi, Jedi. Hi, Mare.
Bun and I are here on a co-cast. Bun's kind of sick and just chilling in the background, but if I had a co-caster today, it would be Bun. Welcome in, everyone. I'mCio. We are casting a match of UFO 50 Bingo. Both of these players are really good and bouncing around in goals and games very quickly here. We already have 2 goals marked off and a lot of progress, or 3 goals marked off and a lot of progress on 1. Yeah, Bone is unfortunately like 2 days behind me on a sickness that I was dealing with earlier this week, and we're not really sure what it was, but I slept for like...
I'm just so tired.
I slept for almost like all of Monday and then also all of Tuesday, and then kind of like forced myself into work yesterday because I like had to be there. Yeah, Bun's drained. I'm doing a little bit better, but still pretty drained. And had like 5 hours of meetings today. But I realized that I would like to stream this while I'm still warmed up from talking nonstop all day. So I guess it ended up technically being like 4.5 hours of meetings because one of them got out early, but I had it scheduled on my books for 5 hours of meetings today. Alright, and Winner getting some good double synergy out of that extended Bushido ball play. Honestly, getting to see some pretty fun diverging strategies here in Bingo. Draft is an interesting format because there's a lot of comfort that you get from being able to like pick what games are guaranteed to be on the board. And there's a couple of different ways that you can approach it, and we kind of saw both of those right away, where Domme kind of just hopped around in a couple of her games to get some really quick goals. Whereas Winner saw the double synergy that showed up from one of her games showing up and was able to work through that. Well, I'm glad the new job's going well, but definitely have a good night, get some rest, and we'll be here for a while, so. Alright, so Dom's just gonna go ahead and quit out, not going for the very hard, makes sense. And meanwhile, Winner is staying in. Okay, and I think Dom is now saw the ridiculous triple synergy here with Barbuda. This tends to happen in draft games where sometimes one game shows up even like 3 or 4 times. And it's definitely something to look out for because you can get a lot of synergy out of goals that would maybe be a little bit slower than normal. Also, I guess I probably should have asked, but I assume my audio leveling's fine, right? If you guys can hear Tired Bun in the background. Okay. As long as you can hear me pretty clearly, and if Bun wants to say anything, as long as you can hear her at all, that's totally fine. Cool. Oh yeah, Mare. Also, I just in case you wanted to say hi or something, I wanted to make sure that people could hear you.
I think because I just was talking on the thing because I didn't want to interrupt you.
That's okay. I just figured it was because your throat was kind of hurting too, but
No, I'm just stupid.
understandable. Okay, thanks y'all. Yeah, I hope the draft pick like tracker thing is clear enough in the background. I realized while setting it up for stream today that my layout prefers it if it'd be vertical, but I don't actually have a layout that has like a 10 like vertical in a row for the game selection. So I just kind of use it as like a name card instead for both the players, which I think works, but now there's like an awkward border on the right side that I need to figure out what I'm doing with, but that's okay. Any reason why Dom's screen is so small? Because I didn't realize it was that small. Is there like a bar in the way? Hold on. Sorry, there's something in the way of making Dom's bigger. There's like a black bar here. Where is that? I don't know what that is, but...
probably made sense to look like a different size.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. No, it's because the second I finished adjusting it, Domme has to tab out when she clicks goals and stuff, so it
They
like
got
moves.
like really
Yeah.
small. I was like, oh.
Thank you for pointing that out, by the way, because I probably wouldn't have noticed that until the end of the match. Alright, well, the name card thing is surprisingly readable for the games that people are picking. I was worried having like most of the cart obscured by the name was going to make it difficult to see what games were picked, but I think it's a... having the information anywhere on screen is helpful. Yeah, Winner's exact words when they drafted a tactics were, I might as well not waste the tactics practice. Winner got up to 191, I believe, last night, and then I think fell back down to 170. I could lower the opacity, but I'm not entirely sure how to do that specifically in OBS. I'm sure there's a way, but... Also, interesting to hold that Magic Garden square until then, because I guess Winner would have not known for sure if Dom actually stayed in for Barbuda for those extra goals or not. Huh, interesting. I'll take a look at that myself.
Oh yeah, you know what? I did that for putting a filter on my Super Sweet Bot widgets.
Actually, let's see if I can do it now.
And you can put opacity on it that way.
Color correction or chroma key?
Color correction.
Oh, yeah, sure enough.
Yeah. And for mine, I like made it a specific color and then changed the opacity, but for you, you would just turn the opacity down. Yeah, it helped you with the thing.
You did, thank you.
I wasn't the only one, though.
And thank you, Gary, as well.
Not only good at cherry slushies.
So true.
What I will always remember you for.
I appreciate that out of all the things you could have known Guri for from Cherry Rush, you knew him as Cherry Slushy. I'm sure he would also appreciate that.
Just like pounding that cherry slushy like it was nothing. Like I will never not be impressed by that.
You're winning this year too. I may try to enter this year and just assume I'm getting last place.
I mean, how could you not win again? How could anyone beat that?
I need to figure out what I'm actually doing for the rest of Cherry Rush also, because I want to submit stuff, but
Like
I gotta
I'm
figure
still
out what it
blown
is.
away by it, and I don't even remember how long ago that was.
it was about a year ago now, because we're in the planning, like the very initial planning stages of Cherry Rush 2 now.
Damn.
And it's going to be more
Did
of
you
a...
get a brain freeze? I'm like fangirling right now. Did you get a brain freeze, and how was it? Apparently I have questions.
You know who I will remember his brain freeze for all eternity was poor Glove. Glove looked
Yep, that was
miserable.
just like a forever brain freeze. Infinite brain freeze the entire time.
But you know what? Shout outs to Glove for toughing it out and still finishing it.
You did not. Wow. Wow. It didn't seem like it. That's why I had to ask. You
I
built different.
I'm behind on a game here. Whoops.
Oops. Sorry, it's because I had questions.
No, it's okay. I got distracted just chilling and watching the game, which happens a lot in Bingo.
See, this is why you need co-casters that aren't me.
No, it's okay.
Because I don't pay attention to the game.
I'm gonna be honest, Underground is much more chill than the regular like
Yeah.
league season, and your yapping fits the vibe very well.
Well, and right now it's like sick yapping too, so
Yeah.
the delirium is real.
I'm curious to see if Domme stays in for 150k and the gold disc, because we are doing some pretty intense score collection here. 150k with the rate that Dom's collecting score is most likely just through Ice World, so it's probably worth staying in the extra world. This square has pretty good value for her, blocking the row 2 bingo. And also potentially, once Track World's done, blocking that column 1 bingo. Which, depending on how this Lords of Disconia goes, might be a little difficult. Yeah, I agree, Gary. I'm gonna be honest, still one of my favorite matches we've ever casted was that Underground match from Season 1, where we were just very high because it was 420 or close to it or something.
This would be a real odds play.
Oh, that's okay.
Because that's just started. Stupid ads.
Alright, there's Dom picking up Track World, and we are gonna stay in for the 150k. Sorry, I'm just constantly adjusting these dimensions, but now that I can actually see, it's a little easier to fix stuff. Alright. Well, Dom is at 100k. I forget, I guess 150k is pretty far into USA World still. 'Cause I guess you're typically not hitting that until the point that you would already charity. And that's normally not until like most of the way through World 4. It is at least a nerf to what this goal used to be, where you just had the gold disc, because you could have a pretty good score run up until like 4-8, and then bomb the hardest level in 4-9 and still get the very hard, which is nice. But it looks like we've been pretty good about getting all of the food along the way that we can. Dropping combo there is a little unfortunate, but normally doesn't super matter in this level, just because you normally have those guys wrapping around to death anyway. So looking ahead here, we still do have a couple of pretty quick squares and make a friend at the crash site. Have 4 upgrades at once. Saving the brainwashed mouse and Mini and Max is pretty fast. Dom already has a decent amount of progress in Barbuda and can get 25 rooms pretty fast. Like, theoretically, we'd probably just need to do the Mimic route and then would have 25 rooms there. Pilot class progress would also help with the blaster. There's still a decent amount of bingo threats available at this point. Dom will block a pretty significant one with this Kit Club 150k. It has a ton of lives and just needs an extra like 25k here. Meanwhile, I have not been watching Disconia, but drowning a dragon with a knight is pretty good value. Oh yeah, we are totally fine. Winner might lose a couple of guys here, but I guess losing both of these fishermen kind of suck. Oh, and there's a vampire down there. Oh, but the AI decided to kill itself in the fog, so everything's fine now. So, unfortunately, there is no reason for Dom to actually stay in for the full gold disc, assuming that she's able to use these last, like, 7 lives here to get an extra 10k. There's the full battle on Commander, and it does look like we're going to try to synergize this with the Very Hard and block the bottom row bingo. We have a champion and a knight versus what a champion and 2 knights and a golem. It's manageable, but I think Winner's gonna have to push some stuff in. I'm gonna get some good value here. Okay. And there's a 150k. Yep. Perfect. Swag. True. And yeah, there's no reason not to hold that for a very long time, because you just saw Winner mark off Lords of Disconia, which means even if they quit out, they're going to have at least like 10 minutes to go into Kit Club. So even though it is 5-5 in the first 24 minutes, it's looking like it's going to be... Yeah, draft games tend to go pretty fast because it's a combination of players getting really good games for them, and also just getting goals that they're presumably comfortable with doing.
Right.
And then also, just because there's like less games available, you normally get a bunch of games where there's like 2 or 3 goals for one game on the card.
I forgot it was the kind where they get to pick the games.
Yeah. Still, that said, 10 spaces marked with an 11th being held in the first 20 minutes is ridiculous, yeah. There's a reason why both of these players are in our brand new A2 tier that I've made up this offseason for us.
That's why we created a new tier.
Well, oh my god, Dom, what are you doing? I think those were the spinnies of her asking the exact same question, because I don't know what she was doing popping out from behind shelter like that. Alright, interestingly enough, we actually probably need more of these moon shards to be able to make friends with the crash site. I guess we're potentially just scouting out blaster stuff here. We do have the orange dungeon, which it does look like Dom knows where to get some additional time and resources here. I'm gonna be honest, I still need to remember all of my pilot quest stuff. Okay, we got hit once. I think we're cutting it close here. Oh boy. We are indeed cutting it close. Alright, so that's some incredible Lords of Disconia synergy to be able to finish out that war. Very well done. Fortunately / unfortunately for WinnerBit, that means that the timer that Dom has to mark off Kit Club Gold Disc basically reset. So presumably she's going to be holding that for a while. Very, very well timed. Not sweating it at all. No siree. Alright. Gonna pop back into Barbuda. Presumably just gonna do the Mimic route, which should have 25 rooms, and if not, there's a bunch of quick rooms that you could go. And meanwhile, Winner is getting some pretty good synergy here. Even as maybe not the biggest Overbold and Bingo fan, having a card that has 4 upgrades maxed out at once and Gold Disc on a card is pretty great synergy. And even if you're not like super comfortable in Overbold, being able to grab the Gold Disc while you just already have a couple of power-ups maxed out is definitely gotta, I guess what's referred to as self-synergy, where the games themselves, like, kind of just by playing them, you're getting multiple goals at once. You typically see it in regular Bingo with like synergy with general goals and stuff, but since draft games don't have general goals and instead have more very hards, basically, it's pretty much just replaced when games like this Barbuda on this board and Overbolt on this board, by playing the game, you kind of just naturally unlock stuff and don't even really have to do anything super out of your way from normal. I will say, I'm gonna be a little sad if we don't see the Mortal very hard in Dom's draft game, because I feel like that's a sign we'd probably never see the Mortal goal done. I'm pretty sure this goal is like one of like 2 or 3 goals from Season 3 that never actually got done during the season. So I would love to see someone who's like really good at Mortal 1 take it down. I miss exactly how long or how many upgrades we've maxed out, but WinnerBit does have the Dark Cherry and Overbold, so I always hesitate to commentate Overbold, because the second I start saying someone's doing well, something happens, but I do know that this is definitely one of their comfort games for sure. Yeah, there were like 2 or 3 goals I think that never actually got done in Season 3, and I know the Mortal 1 very hard was one of them. Alright, so now Winner has presumably forced Dom into Kit Club Gold Disc to block this Bingo, but little does she know that Dom's already done that, and is basically just now at the point where she's holding that square, assuming that Winner could be going for it. Definitely a lot of like back and forth mind games when you get to these higher tier games where both players know each other pretty well, and I forget exactly how many times WinnerBit and Dom have directly played each other, but both have been in 3rd tier for a while, so. And especially once you start playing someone multiple times, and can know if you're potentially going to be baiting them into bingos and stuff. Like Winner doing a good job here of using the time that she's theoretically gained from forcing Dom into Kit Club Gold Disc to block one of the remaining bingos for Dom as well. But I think if Winner is able to get this Waldorf very hard, I think that blocks the last bingo available from either player. Also, I'm sorry, Hugo, but the score is 6-7. I noticed the same time as everyone in chat. Thank you, Guy, for your commentary. So, sort of going back while both players are kind of in longer goals here. Going back to the start of the game, WinnerBit, Domme, and I agreed to use this match as a bit of a testing ground for new balancing for draft. So you may notice, compared to regular draft board, there's fewer easies, more mediums, and hards. And they're a little bit more directly, evenly distributed between the players. And I think so far this match has done a good job of showing that change as being a positive. I think both players have had their moments of kind of getting the double synergies and stuff, but it's not resulted in any like super overwhelming bingo lines, except for the one that WinnerBit forced here that Domme's already like, you know, not going for. Alright, and that's the pretty much first try at Waldorf. Very hard. Very well done. WinnerBit debating if it's worth it to open up Pilot Quest, having seen Domme already mark one of those squares off. Probably a good call not to. It's always weird starting a Pilot Quest seed a little bit late. Yeah, I'm gonna suggest to Frank to just make this the default going forward, but we ended up doing the 3333 4252 or something. It was one of the ones that was recommended earlier, but it worked really well, I would say. Right. And timing it out perfectly there to visit 25 rooms right as she reaches the Mimic. So even though she was down 6 to 8, the Mimic is always a little annoying. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's sometimes worth it to just grab the Blood Sword here, so you have less time that you're actually fighting this thing. Because as we're seeing here, this thing can sometimes just decide to troll you. Like, this Mimic path has just made it so Domme can't do anything now, because it's just jumping non-stop. Get away, please. I don't even blame her for trying to jump over that. What is this Mimic doing? Alright, it finally decided to jump away. That is a ridiculous amount of time to just be trolling that ladder. Oh no. Okay, thank God. Alright. We are now tied 8 to 8 in the first half hour. Personally, as a caster, I think this balancing change worked exceptionally well. We've gotten to see some good quick play from both players, and I think the later portion of this game is also, just looking at it now, starting to feel pretty balanced between what the players still have left. It does feel like this late game, especially since Domme is still holding Kit Club Gold Disc, it does seem like this late game theoretically is going to line up where Domme is potentially either going to snipe WinnerBit on a really nasty Kit Club hold, presumably after she goes like 10 minutes or so without seeing WinnerBit mark something off, or WinnerBit's going to clean up the rest of the board thinking it's going into a race at the end, and then Domme just like marks it. But I think this was good pacing, balancing to prevent one player from just like instantly taking over the board, because we've gotten a pretty good back and forth out of this, so I think this pretty much makes it official that we'll end up having at least some kind of extra balance for week 2 and beyond. Also, Domme gonna get fancy Death Warp and Minion Max. You still collect the thing even if you die after. So you can intentionally damage yourself, grab the glove, and then die. We are gonna have to go back and grab another Spore though, but that's fine. So assuming both players are able to grab their squares here, I think WinnerBit is going to actually be in a slightly unfavorable position in this late game. Because she hasn't touched Pilot Quest. Domme has pretty significant information on where the blaster, at least like theoretically, could be. And then the very hards that are left on the card, Kit Club's already done by Domme. And Mortal and Warp Tank are two of Domme's best games for sure. So setting herself up very nicely in this endgame, I would say, because WinnerBit's basically going to need to get this gold disc and then start getting snipes, but not knowing that she's actually 2 goals behind her and not just 1. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, every time I watch someone actually good at Pilot Quest, it reminds me that I need to actually get good at Pilot Quest. But seeing how efficient Domme's been at Pilot Quest this match, and how quickly these goals are actually going when you have an idea, like, I have like a passing knowledge of Pilot Quest, but the gap between passing knowledge of Pilot Quest and like actually knowing Pilot Quest is pretty big. And meanwhile, WinnerBit is on the final round of Overbold here. I'm gonna be honest, I was not paying attention to upgrades very much, but it looks like we at least have a little bit of upgraded gun and medkit, and maxed out bombs, which should help out clear out enemies before then. And meanwhile, Domme is about halfway through her checks of potential spots for the blaster. It's looking like it's gonna be in the back half. Okay, well, we got one of them. We know where to deliver now. Oh, unfortunate. It looks like we missed the Overbold gold disc and are now pivoting into Kit Club. This theoretically could be a blessing for WinnerBit, because with the combined time of the Overbold gold disc into how long it's been since they've marked off a space, it is possible that Domme starts to panic a little bit and marks this not as devastating of a snipe as it like theoretically could be. WinnerBit's gonna rightfully assume that this is a Kit Club race that I think they just are gonna think they lost here. But given the state of the board, this would make sense if Domme kind of started to panic about how long it's been. And I was gonna say just marked it off there. So that actually, in my opinion, worked out perfectly for WinnerBit. At least in terms of like not really losing any time there. And seeing that Domme has not been in Warp Tank, is going to go ahead and hop into Warp Tank as well. I am excited to see Warp Tank in this match finally, as a Warp Tank fan. Everyone give it up for Cross Sector. Meanwhile, Domme is down to her final 40 seconds. We did finally find the letter, but I don't know if we're going to be able to make it back in time. Yeah, we're just going to reset. Okay. But now we know where the letter is, and theoretically can go back. So yeah, I'm going to be honest with how devastating of a hold that was from Domme. It ended up for WinnerBit actually being like not that big of a deal, I think. Yeah, I like the strat of immediately identifying where the letter's at and then just resetting there. Because Domme did lose her Zoltnax there and is just going to have to hoof it all the way back. But was able to keep the moon shards before like dying to time or whatever. And then was able to use the 2 meat that she had in reserve at the shop to be able to go through. So definitely some pretty fun pilot quest strats from Domme here, while WinnerBit is cruising through Warp Tank. You lose it if you die, but apparently you don't lose it on reset, which is weird. So, very, very well done by Domme. I think on behalf of most of the Bingo League, thank you for showing that off. I know, I guess I don't actually know, but I'm pretty sure you lose it when you die. The meat would have been the one saved back at base, but the letter wouldn't have been, right? The meat had to be bought with moon shards that she already had. But I think the letter itself was still in the inventory, and she didn't have to like backtrack across half the map to get it again. Yeah, the moon shards were ones that she already had, but also didn't lose because she'd reset instead of dying. Yeah, the Crash Bandicoot Master of Puppets has actually been a surprisingly good cover album. So even though we are technically on the same level here, I believe WinnerBit has a couple of extra sectors done already. We're already at the 4 cutscene there. Technically not as optimal of routing on the overworld, because it's technically better to do the route that Domme's doing. Clear out these 4 levels and then reset and then do Crust and Piston Sector after. But I don't think it's super gonna matter. It's gonna be a very slight time loss of Winner's advantage here, but unless they just like kind of straight up pick a wrong level here, I don't know if that's enough of a gap. Oh, unless they're having trouble getting to this level, at which point Domme can catch up pretty quickly. So yeah, we'll definitely ask the players in the post-game how they feel about the balancing changes, but this feels like a good, fair card for both players. Where both players have gotten the games that they wanted to get while also still having an opportunity to like hop into their opponent's games somewhat, which I think is all you could really ask for in draft. I'm glad Mora pointed out how many easies there are in the standard board earlier, because I think I knew that, but I didn't actually like click what it meant until today. Alright, so WinnerBit is ahead by 2 sectors here. And we are gonna go... Okay, so this is actually potentially a little awkward for WinnerBit because there's only 2 sectors over here. And the 9th sector stuff over here isn't gonna open up until you've beaten 9 sectors. And they'll only have beaten 8 after this. So this might actually be a pretty decent overworld time loss here. Like, either player is like really losing any time in the levels themselves so far. But one of the underrated parts about how difficult Warp Tank can be in Bingo sometimes, and honestly even when you're learning like the Golden Cherry route, is how intimidating the overworld movement can be. If anyone here in chat has played the apparently now old indie game Dust Force, it's what it reminds me of.
It's old?
It came out in 2012, so it's been a while.
So our relationship is
I'm
old?
not saying a real. By indie game standards.
Apparently our relationship is ancient, yo. Because that's when we met and started dating.
We have been dating a while, it's true.
Okay. Well, we're ancient. In terms of indie game standards. Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Dom did make the correct decision to switch to Pink Tank, by the way.
I cannot face that. Now I just want you to play Dust Force.
Well, maybe I will.
Brand new game.
Never before seen Dust Force.
Brand new is pushing it, but...
Alright, so we're going to see pretty much the exact thing I was talking about here, where WinnerBit now has 8 sectors, but does not have, the 9th sector available. So she's going to have to reset and most likely do Tower Sector, which Dom just did. Oh, but we're panicking and looking for another level to do. This could be enough time for Dom to catch up on this very hard. WinnerBit now sees the mistake of not being Pink Tank. Thank you.
Timely played the beloved game Dust Force.
So just objectively looking through the routes that both players are taking, it does seem like Dom is a little more practiced in these routes. Both players are doing a pretty good job of getting through these pretty quickly, honestly. But I'm seeing WinnerBit have like a little bit more hesitation in these levels, and Dom's more or less like full send in these. And this will be Sector 8 for Dom, or is it Sector 9 already? Yeah, this is 8. Okay.
Ew, why was it all wet on this counter?
I'm not sure.
Why
I can-
is my cereal wet?
So WinnerBit has all 9 sectors, but doesn't look like she knows exactly where the NPCs are, which is another underrated difficulty part of this, in my opinion.
That's all that was left.
Oh. Because there's going to be 2 NPCs over here, and the third NPC is going to be over by where they were earlier. But this might give Dom enough time to catch up, because Dom's in a good spot to be able to just watch this 9 cutscene and get this farther away guy here. WinnerBit has 1 NPC down. If WinnerBit is able to grab these NPCs before Dom grabs all 3 NPCs and the end of this level, this would be a pretty devastating snipe here. This is NPC number 2. Dom's watching the cutscene and is going to be getting this first NPC that WinnerBit's last NPC is going to be. But I think WinnerBit just barely has this. This is going to end up being a pretty devastating snipe here, actually. Because Dom is going to get this NPC first, but she's unfortunately going to need to backtrack to the 2 NPCs that WinnerBit's already talked to. Took a little bit of a roundabout way of getting there. Unbelievable snipe. That was very well done, Winner. Alright, and I think trying to figure out where to go next. We are going to have a head-to-head hyper contender race. That sounds about right.
Hyper contender!
Oh, cutie.
I had to give it a song.
I appreciate that you did. And we have Gold Disc as Donkus or Voltana, with 1 player picking Donkus and 1 player picking Voltana. I think it's safe to say the new balancing changes worked, because this match has been hype as hell.
Oh yeah.
So I'm assuming Dom is holding the Mortal 2 attempt, or the Mortal attempt. We didn't actually get Mortal 2 on this board, did we? That's odd. That's one thing that I wish Draft definitely did, was guarantee that all of the games showed up at least once before it did duplicates and stuff. Because while the double synergy could be nice, it is also a little confusing when you like draft and protect a game and it doesn't show up. But I'm like 99% sure I selected Mortal 2 in the preview thing, so. The game picks per player definitely felt more balanced in this, though. Like both players got a good chance to get some good synergy and play games for a little bit longer than they normally would. While also not having like one player have all of their games show up and then another player only get like 2 or 3. I don't think it's actually possible to get 2 or 3, but anyway. Oh, in the match of literally Donkus versus Voltana, Voltana won in WinnerBit's game, so an early rematch in Wave 2, I think, puts Domme ahead right now. But Rek is also proven to give Domme the business here. What the hell is this Rek doing? Did Domme switch to hard on accident? Okay, so Dom's actually 2 levels ahead here. So this will end up being a pretty good snipe back in her favor here. Alright, on to the Donkus match for Domme, level 5. Winner getting a good block there to be able to beat Voltana. Very interesting mirror game there. But Winner is only on level 3 here, so Domme has a pretty decently sized advantage so far, but this Donkus is definitely being difficult here. Nice shot though. Cool. WinnerBit using the tried and true strategy of just block for Gilroy. Didn't even need to block there, just let Gilroy kill himself. Alright, WinnerBit jumps up to level 4. I think Dom's basically kept her like 2 level advantage here though. If Domme is able to carry this lead, I assume space number 13 is going to be the Mortal very hard. Just knowing that she is not very likely to get beat on a head-to-head of that. But if Winner is able to come back in this hyper contender match, that would bring them to 11 to 10, which still isn't like a amazing position, but Campanella 1, Overbold, and Rail Heist both can kind of go either way depending on how the game's feeling that day. And the Rail Heist goal is beating a few levels with 3 out of 3 stars. So even though there's only 3 levels there, you do have to beat them at least twice, so pretty much everything on the card left is gonna end up taking a while, I guess, is kind of the theme of draft games in general. Once you get through the opening blitz of like super fast stuff, everything left at the end of the card is like a hard or a very hard. Which often doesn't have any synergy with anything else on the card, so you just gotta sit in for like 8 minutes and go for it. And Domme is in the mirror match now, so Depending on how this goes, this will be theoretically a pretty clean Hyper Contender run. Okay, the 5th ring is out, but AI is holding on to it pretty well. Oh, we got a bad block there. Into a dodge, that is tough. This AI put up some pretty strong movement there. Oh boy, okay. So Domme still has a rematch available, but the rematch in the mirror match is definitely pretty scary. Voltana honestly is a pretty... I think all of the characters honestly are pretty hard as mirror matches, especially since the difficulty's upped at this point. But also just because mirror matches in this game are sometimes pretty awkward. Like, part of the reason why I personally like playing as Sephi is because I just think I'd play the character better than the AI does most of the time. But the AI is actually pretty competent with a lot of the characters in this game. So Domme having to play a little bit safer here. The AI at a 3-2 advantage. AI on WinnerBit's side is also currently at an advantage. Oh boy, this is looking scary. Oh boy, no, that is devastating. The AI got an absolutely brutal block midair, and the keyboard mash intensifies. That's unfortunate. So we are gonna just head into Rail Heist, and suddenly WinnerBit is looking pretty cozy in this Hyper Contender square. That was definitely a really unfortunate... I say that as soon as she also loses. Alright, well, I think Winner still has a rematch. Oh no, that was also a loss. Oh, that is tragic. Both players unfortunately not able to grab that Hyper Contender square. So we are moving on. Both players now uncontested in these goals. I know neither player knows where the other is at right now, so I'm sure both are going to assume that this is a head-to-head race that they've been in. But I don't think either player is... like, I think it'll be pretty reassuring when they both come off of mute and realize that they both had an absolutely tragic run of Hyper Contender. Dom's was a little more tragic since she got to the mirror match, but would have been nice to see the Donkus clear as well. So okay, so looks like Dom doing a good job of hedging bets here, getting a little bit of progress in Rail Heist before starting over again in Hyper Contender. I think that makes sense when you're ahead in a bingo match, and especially when the amount of spaces on the board that you could need to mark are going down. It kind of makes sense to bank a little bit of progress in goals that you can. So that way, if this did end up being a head-to-head Hyper Contender race again, and Dom theoretically ended up losing that race, she would still have at least a little bit of an advantage in Rail Heist. Whereas Winner being down by 2 points here is going to need to mark 2 squares to come back, and then a third one to actually take the lead before Dom marks a space in the next like 45 minutes. But definitely a very fun match. Definitely a lot of good back and forth from the players here. I think outside of Hyper Contender just deciding to be really mean, thankfully to both players, I guess. It is always at least a little more reassuring when it happens to both players as a caster instead of just Hyper Contender picking on one player for the day. It's actually kind of funny. Winner spawned the coffee in B-8, but then wasn't able to take the route that the coffee was on because it was permanently spawned. And they couldn't collect points, so they ended up having to take some like weird route above everything. Sorry, I needed to finish eating there. Looks like we are back on to round 5 of Hyper Contender. And it looks like even though Winner took a death, they are indeed ballin', which...
Ballin'!
Exactly.
Sorry. Sometimes the echolalia just takes over and I have no say in it.
I'm gonna be honest, Bun, your commentary is very appreciated, especially for Underground. And especially when I'm by myself, it helps to have your commentary also, so... But Bun is also in the Discord now and theoretically could join on casting calls.
I am!
Bun.
I even have 1 gold and 1 cherry in my name. Do you want to guess the game?
Longtime viewers of the stream probably
Yeah.
know, but...
If you know, you know. No, but I have played that one. Good guess.
It's Party House.
Vex, you're very close.
You did. You were correct, Vex.
Yeah, it's Party House. Which I almost one-shotted the cherry, and I will never forgive it for not letting me.
It's true. Bun lost on the final day of the 4th streak and had enough star guests to win and just didn't pull him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bun was like, oh, we'll be back, don't worry. And then
it took me like a year to come back to it because I was so pissed.
alright, Winner, the shortcut's not there anymore. Yeah, I was gonna say you unfortunately
Onion delivery for sure. If someone had 1 gold and 1 cherry and it was onion delivery only.
I'm gonna be honest, Bun is the driver of the household. So
No,
it's
that would
possible.
actually be really funny because that would be a very me thing for it to only be onion delivery.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be my second one. Just for the laughs.
I mean, I do have CO Could Chill. Alright, Winner is at the Stage C boss, but only has 2 lives left. This boss, I was gonna say, can sometimes be a little annoying. So, Winner's in a good spot here, but these final things plus bingo nerves might be making this a little difficult here. Alright, there's the Stage C boss with 1 life left. Very well done, Winner.
I also like that you gave my one UFO 50 emote as a clue.
Yeah.
It's a great clue.
Yeah,
Also, it's a great emote.
it is.
Also, it's a great game.
It's true. Alright. And here is an absolutely devastating hold once again. This one is going to end up hurting WinnerBit significantly more here because of the way that it ended up working out.
Oh, that's our friend.
But yeah, basically the way that this works now.
Sorry,
Because
Dom, I don't know you as well.
because WinnerBit just marked off the other square that they were working on. Dom knows that a gold disc of Hyper Contender is going to take at least a couple of minutes. And my guess would be most likely just going to play through 3-A and then probably mark it, but may end up holding it until 3-B. If they end up holding it all the way through 3-B, this might end up getting interesting because Winner is in Hyper Contender and theoretically could snipe it before then, but I'll do Nevermind and Crash Bandicoot, I guess. I think given the position that Domme's in, it would probably make most sense to just mark this square after you beat 3-A.
Yeah, Vex, it was last Bunathon, and then I don't think I got it until this
Yeah,
year's Bunathon.
my favorite grunge band, Voltana, true.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't even really salt so much as just shock that Bone almost got it right away. But it wasn't salt at all.
No, I had salt.
Alright, this is a fantastic ending for this level because this level always takes me forever to end. Okay, and as expected, getting through one level in Mortal, that should pretty much clean it up here, I think. Barring Mortal 1 going surprisingly poorly for Domme. I think WinnerBit is going to be able to clean up this square and maybe even make some decent progress into Rail Heist, depending on how Overbold goes. But this is going to be a pretty uphill position for WinnerBit to mark all three of these squares in the next half hour. Did not get eaten by dogs, but did get distracted. That's very fair. Welcome back.
Well, we thought that was like the cutest reason to have to lurk.
Yep.
And we were like, we hope you do not get eaten.
If you do, what a way to go.
Yeah, great way to go though. Well, actually it might be painful. We hope you do not go in that way. Would be cute, but also painful. But did you get distracted in the cutest way?
I'm appreciating watching Domme for all of these small optimizations in Mortal, because I
Mortals!
long ago ran Mortal 1 Gold Disc as like super casual, so I have like super basic strats for a lot of stuff, but her strats are definitely better.
I hope you liked my Bortles Mortals.
I did.
Probably no one else got it, but that's okay.
I think other people watched The Good Place at some point. Chat, did y'all like The Good Place? Because we rewatched it recently and it was very
It
good.
went by so much faster on the rewatch.
Yeah, we watched it live originally, which meant that we had to like kind of sit back and wait
Just wait
for a bit
everything
for the
to
rewatch.
happen.
But it definitely felt like a tighter package watching it all back
Well,
at
and
once.
let me tell you, everything made a lot more sense
Yeah.
on the binge than on a non-binge. Especially on the later seasons.
Yeah.
Like the last season especially.
I think when we were watching the last season live, we weren't sure where it was going until it was already over.
It was just a little harder to follow when it was live and there was a week between every episode,
Yeah.
I think. Like it was just a little bit harder to follow maybe like exactly what they were doing. And then when we were doing the rewatch and we didn't have as much time between episodes or, you know, any time at all.
Yeah.
We were like, oh. And it was a lot easier to see what they were doing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then it was over, and we were like, oh.
Yeah. If you haven't seen The Good Place yet, go watch it.
It's very good, if you will. I had a hard time turning that one into a pun, so thank you for laughing.
You're welcome.
Like, it was literally just a description of it, but I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah.
If there's room for a pun to happen, you know I will make it happen.
I gotta say, the Crash Bandicoot sound font is better than I expected it to be for these instrumentation albums. Arrows underwater go so slowly. Meanwhile, WinnerBit is back on the final round of Overbold. Looking like a pretty similar build to what they had last time. And Dom on the final checkpoint of what is effectively the last level of Mortal 1. And just reset back to 20, and this game will be over in a couple of seconds. But very well done by both players. Kudos to both for playing that slightly modified draft format for us to test out how it was going to work. That bomb guy just refused to die for some reason. Alright, winner, can you get the gold disc before Dom marks this off? Nope. GG's.
Jeez.
GG. Winner just finished up the Overbold gold disc and will be joining us shortly.
The Overgold?
Yes.
Alright, well. So how many
GG's.
times did a gold disc elude me this game? I lost count.
Lots.
Did you get
Yeah.
Did you get beat up on Hyper Contender? Because I did.
Yeah, I went Donkus for the people. That was a bad decision, I think.
Yeah, you both got a little hyper contendered there for a minute.
Yeah, I was wondering what was up.
I swear, the mirror match is the most stupidest thing in that game.
Yeah,
it
the
just
mirror.
turns into a reaction speed test.
Yeah, especially when you get stuck as Donkus or Voltana. I was kind of mentioning it during the commentary, but some mirror matches just definitely feel a lot harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I gotta say, you sniped me by like 20 seconds on one take.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
So close. I just
Oh,
talked to
dang.
the first NPC.
She just finished the 9th sector and got the first NPC and just had the other 2 NPCs over to the right to get, so...
Oh man, yeah, I figured it was a race given how long it had been since the last mark, and I was a little anxious about it.
Yeah, Dom,
Suffice
you
to say.
ended up actually making up about 2 sectors or so worth of a level advantage from winner there.
Yeah, I just completely fumbled the level resets and the routing. I meant to
Yeah.
do one more in the rightmost area before I went to the top left,
Yeah, it definitely happens.
etc.
Yeah, it ended up being a good back and forth. Also, thank you both for testing the new balancing stuff, because I think that ended up being a pretty good back and forth game for you two.
Yeah, I liked this.
Yep.
This is really solid.
Yeah, I think we maybe just had too many easies on boards before, so sometimes if you just got a little unlucky, you were kind of put on the back foot immediately, and then there was nothing you could do. So glad that didn't happen. It was pretty much within 1 or 2 points up until like the very end there. So
Yeah. It's kind of funny too about the whole Kit Club situation, because I was thinking about just leaving that there as bait, and about, I want to say 15 or 20 minutes later I decided, oh, what the heck, I'll hop in, and then about 4 levels in you marked it.
so funny story.
I got scared.
Yeah, so funny story about that. Dom
just
had
hold
that
that.
square before you even had the overbold thing in that line.
Okay.
And kept holding it because it hadn't been like the 10 minutes or whatever since you marked anything off. But
Gotcha, yeah.
at some point during the match, Winner got super far into an overbold gold disc and died like in like the final wave or something. And then after that, you pivoted into Kick Club, and you were like 4 levels into Kick Club before Dom panicked about how long it had been and marked it off. So
Yeah, that's what it was.
could have been a pretty devastating snipe had it like lined up where you just happened to pop into Kick Club like right after another goal or something. But because it had been a while since you had marked one off, it actually kind of ended up working out better for you.
Yeah, weird. I was very happy about the early mark in what was the first thing? Past Rule.
Yeah.
Because I was on my 5th Bushido Ball character, I think, at that time. And so with that knowledge, I was able to go like, okay, you know what? Let's set Yamada to laws on 8 points, because I was going from like first selection to last selection on that goal. And yeah, that just kind of fell into place really nicely. I was really happy about that one.
Yeah. I think you both did pretty well with identifying the good synergies. Dom, fantastic job in Pilot Quest too, by the way.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Did you mean to cut it that
was
close
so
with like 1
close
second
so
on that
many
one run?
times.
Oh
Yep.
no. Well, I'm gonna have to watch that one back.
Yeah,
That sounds fun.
basically all of Dom's time in Pilot Quest was an adventure and definitely worth watching. Yeah, very fun game. Honestly, you both played really well.
Shout out to winning full war on Commander.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's one hell of a synergy, I'll tell you.
It's not a synergy
was
as I was
little-
expecting to see, but one that I'm
Yeah.
excited works.
I was a little anxious about losing the first match
Yeah.
on that one. Both about getting sniped and just straight up losing the war. But I have yet to lose a full war in Disconia, like ever. So
That's
that
ridiculous.
streak continues.
I think it took
like streak mode. I've never been.
Oh yeah, streak mode or campaign mode or
it took me like
speedruns or
5
whatever.
hours to get through minor issue the first time. So
Yeah, I mean minor issue is
surprised.
the only exception to that for actual like runs
Yeah.
this month.
yeah,
I get messed up in Disconia, so I try to avoid it if I can.
yeah. I picked it up for Disconome, and it seems like it's been pretty fun.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a good time.
I don't think I would have done a full war on Commander difficulty though.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
And also, Dom, congratulations on I think being the first person to ever complete that mortal very hard in a match.
I had
I
to.
just realized.
I was thinking about not even doing it because I was like, well, maybe they're gonna go into it because it's a meme square and it's also like, it's one of the squares that I would imagine I might win a race in.
Yeah, I would assume so. So
Yeah,
that-
I don't particularly care for Mortal. I did see that there were like 2 tiles when you had 11 to go and just 2 to go. I did see that Mortal and Rail Heist were both like bankable and less volatile than the ones I actually wanted to go for. So at that point, I was pretty much like, okay, well, you've got this. I may as well just try to have some fun here.
yeah,
Which I kind of did. I mean, I was on like level 4 or 5 with Voltana when you marked that one.
yeah.
But
I think you both played well. That was a good back and forth. I think a good showing for what the new balancing for stuff looks like.
Yeah, and I think that puts us at 1-1 for matches between us, right, Dom?
I think you beat me at season 1 as well.
Oh, did we play then?
Oh yeah, I remember that. You did beat me. I remember that day because it was like there was something weird in Minnie and Max that I didn't know how to do, and you like watched Spooty stream and he just did it.
Oh
And so
yeah,
you knew
turning
like
off
this
the
tech.
lamp. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot turning
Or
off the lamp used to
Was
be a
it that?
goal.
Was it that or the brainwashed mouse thing? I don't remember, but
I think it was
Yeah.
the lamp because you're like doing the thing with the moth. I didn't even know that was a thing.
right,
Before
yeah,
that.
the butterfly. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think
Right.
actually, did you cast that one, Co?
I probably did. That sounds about
I think
right.
you might have. Good times.
It's wild.
Yeah.
You all used to be in C tier, I'm going to be honest.
Okay,
But-
wait. I want to ask: do people know about the letter tech? Like, do people know that in Pilot Quest you can reset the game in
So
the middle of a run and you keep the letter?
that was news to both me and I would say everyone in chat, because we thought that you just reset to like save your moon shards, but then we saw that you still kept the letter, and that was very clutch and cool.
Moonshine. Whoa. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, so Winner, I guess in case you didn't know, along with the rest of us, if you collect the letter and then reset, you still keep the letter, even though you didn't make it back to the wild, or like to base and stuff.
That is interesting. I honestly kind of felt like that might have been the case. I wonder if it's the same with the gear. I'm not sure, but like HUD items, for some reason, I've always felt like, except for Zoldanex, that seems like it would persist.
Yeah.
I've just never actually tested it. Makes sense logically, but yeah, I didn't actually like tangibly know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't either, so thank you for showing that off.
Yeah, I found that by accident once, and I was like, I guess this is the thing. I don't know.
I love all the stuff that you just accidentally find. Like, I found a thing for Antarctica where you just like stand in the corner and the final boss just doesn't see you for some reason. And it like makes it like way easier than trying to like actually move around and have Octavio hit you.
Yeah, I remember that. That's a really good,
Stand in this
really
corner
cool
and
tech.
wait.
Yeah, it's super consistent too. I ran Antarctica last night and I lost the lock because Octavio ended up punching him, and then I got the lock back by just standing in the same corner. So
Incredible.
yeah.
All right, for the road, real quick. It's blacklight time.
Blick
Okay.
light.
Blick. Blickalite. There we go.
All right,
Did it
chat.
just move to
Alright.
just
Who's
sit here and wait? I don't
winning
care.
it? Oh, it's got to be wild card. Obviously, it's probably going to be El
Wild card,
Rey,
baby.
This is interesting. Okay, so we got Wildcard, we got El Rey, we got Bossimo. All pretty solid quibbles in theory.
Who do you
We
want
don't
to
know
win
about
quibbles?
Wildcard yet.
Wildcard,
No
El
one's
Rey, or
boosted.
Bossimo?
There's no trash on the
Bossimo.
field. We don't know if there's meteors yet or not, though.
Bun picks Bossimo. I pick wild card. Chat, who do you
I'm
want?
going El Rey for the drama.
I like
Yeah,
how I said,
let's go
Bossimo. I mean, it was
Bossimo.
obvious.
I'm gonna go Bossimo here.
All right, we got an El
Let's
Rey
give
in
it 10 more
chat.
seconds.
Cast your votes.
Boss him up. Boss him up.
We're going to be going soon. You can watch it
We know
over here
Bun's
and commentate live.
All right,
You just
here we
gotta
go.
watch your little guy down at the bottom.
Pause my show for
one.
Bossimo.
Ready, set.
Bossimo!
Oh, Bossimo off to an
El Rey's
early
crippled.
lead. El Rey looks like he might have had his kneecaps
Bossimo.
broken here.
Bossimo!
Oh,
Trip out of
Bossimo!
El
is
Rey.
Bun
Bossimo!
is Bun undefeated?
Bossimo!
Gonna be
Bossimo!
so
He
close.
falls early so he can win!
And El Rey freaking dies!
Died.
I knew it!
This is
Bun-
so sad, but also yay, Bossimo.
I
Bun
am the great predictor!
Bun has never lost a game of Quibble Race.
I haven't?
Amazing.
Oh my
That
god.
was your first bet, so you are undefeated in Quibble
You've
Race.
asked me before. I thought.
That's exactly what I did with Fortnite. I entered a
don't remember how I
50v50
fared.
match, my team won, and I quit forever.
Grandmaster.
Undefeated,
Heck yeah.
apparently.
Yeah.
Well, that was a really fun match, Dom. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for playing.
GG's.
Yeah, thanks for playing. Thanks for casting, CO.
Of course. I'll have this up on YouTube
Yeah.
pretty soon. I'm probably going to chill and stream for a little bit longer, but it'll be up after that, so.
Yippee!
Cool. GG's.
Alright.
Dom will schedule a
GG's.
time to play next week or something. Looking forward to it.
Sure. Yeah. Let me
Nice. Yeah,
I'll
GG's, yo.
hop out and I'll probably catch you on the stream for a little bit.
Yeah. Night, yo.
All right. See ya.
Okay.
Okay. So we are going to go ahead and disconnect here. Very, very fun first match of Underground Bingo.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you for joining me, Bun. It's always fun to have you as co-caster.
Of course. Sorry if I was weird because I'm sick.
I think your sick energy lines up very well with how silly Underground